song, never change, never change. So you can...
Okay, right there, he just tipped his hand. Right there. Right there, he just tipped his hand. Okay, like what's he actually doing here? So Rogan's security left the second that they actually had him in cuffs. That's why they said Rogan's guys are gone. Detectives contacted Mr. Rogan, who stated that he had never had any interaction with Johnson. All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back. So we are going to go through this long form arrest video from the Liver King because we learn a lot of things about him. We learn his state of mind, which is very concerning. We also, there's a bunch of stuff in this footage that everybody missed, okay? Like including even in the first minute, okay? Like right when we get started, there's a huge tell as it relates to his state of mind with the drugs, okay? Someone just says it out loud, and I haven't heard anybody pick up on it. We also are going to go through what Joe Rogan's involvement in this was, you know, whether or not Joe Rogan was involved in the arrest and how his security was involved and how this happened, because towards the end of the video, it comes out exactly what Rogan's role in this was. And so that is what we're going to get into. Now, I would encourage you guys, if you guys are even moderately interested in this situation, watch this whole video because I was reacting to it live. And so it's not like structured like a normal video where I would choose, you know, what's the most interesting stuff and then kind of, you know, strategically put it throughout the video. Like I just watched this kind of all at once and then pull a bunch of things out of it. So buckle in and we're going to rock and roll. But, you know, since people are speculating about whether or not this dude is on opioids or other types of, I don't know, narcotics, I'm just going to say that if you are a person who buys Kratom in bulk, YoKratom.com is a great place for you to potentially do that. $60 kilograms. And I say that because I genuinely believe that that right there is a great way to avoid ending up like this over here. Okay. Anyway, so let's get into it because, like I said, right out of the gate, he like his assistant say something. But what's so bizarre to me about this, honestly, more than anything, is like his whole crew is like completely down with what's happening right now. Like they're asking like this is just completely normal. It's like, oh, well, yeah, of course we're here following Joe Rogan. Of course we're here challenging Joe Rogan to some type of violence without having even spoken to him about it. And yes, now we're just getting arrested, and this is all totally normal. There's nothing weird about this at all. You know, it's just, I don't know. It's just like, it's almost like unsettling how normal they think this is. All right, let's get into it. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not pressing play until you like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. TikTok. I'm just kidding. No, but really do that, please. All right, let's watch this thing.
I'm not recording while dealing with the cops outside.
Why is that so loud? Good Lord. All right, let's go.
Damn, this took a while. I'm so sorry. I take it back. God, thank you. That was the perfect amount of resistance. So you're just picking up where we're leaving off. I just need to put stuff on. Just put stuff, because they're not going to take me naked.
Do you want the green? No. The green is better.
Whatever you gave me is perfect, Queen. Can I put my shoes on and stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
And if you need a new patch or anything,
you should record.
Boom, right there. He said, you need a new patch or anything? Now, everybody kind of cruised right through that, I would imagine. But what do you think that what kind of patch are we referencing? A fentanyl patch, also known as a transdermal fentanyl patch, is a medication used to relieve severe and persistent pain. It is a strong opioid and analgesic pain medicine that is applied to the skin and delivers fentanyl through the skin into the bloodstream over a long period of time. Do you need a new patch? I mean, listen, dude, it could be something else. I don't know. But that jumped off the page to me right there when, you know, it appears that we're dealing with some kind of drug, whatever. And real quick, just watch this video real quick and like just compare the two versions of him. And one of them is before and the other one is like a couple days ago.
Authentic guy.
Our early ancestors always ate the liver first. When we took down an animal, it wasn't the muscle meat or anything else we would have consumed first. It was the liver.
To now this, the meth king. He is yapping nonsense. The roids have reached his head.
This is what you got credit for. I don't really need the credit, you know. Thank you. But it's so disappointed that everybody seems, you know, a sense of disappointment, not reconciling with the actual truth. It's like everyone's kind of left anemic, knowing we can't have closure.
If this is
like his eyes, man. I don't know. Listen, I am not an expert on what the eyes do based on different things. Aside from that, if you're on psychedelics, your eyes go, you know. I know that. If people are on MDMA or like or any kind of psychedelic, like I don't even know if MDMA is technically a psychedelic, but whatever. The pupils get gigantic. I think that when people are on opioids, they get smaller, but his eyes are huge right there, right? So I don't know, dude. I mean, let's just continue the arrest video because it gets continually more bizarre.
Anything and everything. And when I go to the back, Justin's recording Fitzpatrick. He's got the most beautiful wife in the world. You wouldn't want to take most of them to prison. I wonder if I have to go. You should just record this right now. I wonder if I have to go and I'm on the shitter, what happens then?
See, listen, like, let me tell you something else too. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to just talk over this thing because I can't help myself. One thing that you can essentially rest assured of is when people are like deep in drug addiction, their mood does not match the situation that they're in ever. Okay. That's the real, that's the big magnetic draw of drugs for people who are control freaks. Okay. At the end of the day, what drugs provide you the ability to is to control your mood all the time. Okay. Straight up. Now I've never really talked about this side of it. I don't think on the channel or not very much. But one thing that I've talked about a million times is about how, like, if you take an opioid addict and you're like, dude, why would people do this to themselves? It's like, it's simple. It's simple. It's because you could be a homeless person. You fire up a nice big shot and then you're sleeping in a dumpster. Okay. Like, you could have lost your family. You could have lost your girlfriend, could have lost literally every single thing that you have. And all you have is one shot. Bam. And you know for sure, for however long that thing lasts, you are going to be on cloud nine, the happiest person in the world, laying in a dumpster. Okay. So if you connect that back, because all drugs have some form of that to them. So it's like, okay, so if a person likes meth and fentanyl as an example, okay, like if they need to do a bunch of work, they need to be productive. Okay, well, you don't need to like psych yourself up to do work. You just need to do the drugs, right? Just get the drugs into your body and then boom, you're going to be able to be productive. If you're in a bad mood, you just need to, hit a speedball and boom, you're going to be ready for people to come over. You're going to be ready to talk about it. You're going to be ready to do whatever. And like I said, I mean, like if you think about the example I just gave about a person being in a trash can and being like, oh my God, I feel great. Well, right here, he's getting arrested, dude. Like he's getting arrested for coming to Austin to try to fight Joe Rogan. Like he should be embarrassed. Okay. He should be embarrassed and he should be scared about going into jail, or not like scared like he's going to get attacked, but just like, dude, you don't know what you're walking into. You don't know how long you're going to be in there for. You don't really know what they're charging you with yet. You should be nervous. You shouldn't be just walking around calmly making jokes. Okay. And I'm sure that he would be like, no, man, you got to be strong for your family. Okay. Well, your mood does not match the situation at all. And my suspicion is that it's because you're on drugs, like major drugs. Okay, let's continue.
Did they arrest you on the shitter? Do you know?
I
In
think
the
we'll
state
find
of
out.
Texas, because Joe Rogan, this is how I do my name. Can I take my phone? They probably won't let me take my phone.
You can take your phone and hold it.
Oh yeah. We're still talking. If you don't mind, what all I need to do in the great state of Texas, that's where they do the Alamo stuff. I was making my morning fire. And this is what goes in the fire. In life, this is an adventure we have in life. We can do this thing. It's a master builder. We can build people. Celebrate comedy's awesome. You're still great, Joe Rogan. I can be arrested. I want to fight you. Real tension. It's all gonna happen. I'm speaking fast now. Or you can never change. Never change. Can you edit this later and then post this immediately, but then later add my anthem song? Never change. Never change. So you can.
Okay, right there, he just tipped his hand. Right there. Right there, he just tipped his hand. Okay, like what's he actually doing here? He just tipped his hand right there. Because he said, later on, you could put the music behind this. This whole thing is a stunt. 100% in his mind, this whole thing is a stunt. That's where he 100%, there's no question about that as of this moment, because he's still talking about, they do this thing with Rogan. And then, hey man, later on, put the music behind it. In his mind, this whole thing's a stunt. And he might think that this stunt is working in some bizarre way. But it's like, dude, this stunt is not working. Okay, so you can have two things going on at once. You can have one side where, you know, he can be thinking that he's doing a stunt and this can be some calculated thing, and he happens to be getting attention for the thing that he's doing, which, if you think about it logically, would seem like he's like having a successful run of the thing that he's trying to do. But the thing is, he's on drugs, okay? Like, he's on drugs, and so his plan is flawed, deeply flawed, okay? Because, yeah, you're going to get the attention, but you are too clouded to recognize that not all attention is good attention. You might think it is, but it's not. This is the end for you. Like, your credibility is non-existent after this. You're now in a different group of people, which is crazy person, okay? The second that you fall into crazy person, your career is over. If what you are selling, okay, if what you're selling is, hey, be like me, which is exactly how he built his business, right? Like, he was a supplement guy. Apparently, he was making money before this. And if he knows the supplement business, the reality is he'll start another company. He'll use the connections and distribution relationships that he has anyway, and they just won't be tied to Liver King, and he'll still make money. But this whole thing of your public image, this shit's over now, right? Like, this shit is over. Bottom line. There's no coming back from this incident right here. You chose the most famous podcaster in the world. Dude, listen, no one knows this better than me. Okay, if I put Joe Rogan disagrees with the current president on immigration, the video will get bananas views. Like, people, like, everybody will look if you're trying to, involve Joe Rogan and like, oh, I want to fight Joe Rogan. All right, well, people are going to look at that. But in this case, you're the kook. Now, also, I just realized that I forgot to put this in the video. So this is I'm shoehorning this in. This is Joe Rogan's involvement that we have verified. But later in the video, we actually see Joe Rogan's security on site there, dealing with him. Or what their involvement was with the police. Okay, so social media influencer Liver King arrested in Austin. So, like, I'm going to come back to the video in a second, okay? So, Austin Police Department has arrested Brian Johnson, known online as the Liver King. He was charged with terrorist threats, a Class B misdemeanor. They confirmed Johnson made threats against Joe Rogan on his Instagram profile. You guys already know, he said, Joe Rogan, I'm calling you out. My name is Liver King, man to man. I'm picking a fight with you. I have no jiu-jitsu training. You're a black belt. You should dismantle me, but I'm picking a fight with you. Your rules. I'll come to you whenever you're ready. Okay, now listen to this. According to Austin PD, detectives contacted Mr. Rogan, who stated that he had never had any interaction with Johnson and considered the post to be threatening. Okay, so then boom, that's when they went and got him, and Joe's security goes as well. But my guess, honestly, my guess is that Rogan's security contacted the detectives, right? Because, like, you think the detectives are just, like, scrolling through Instagram? You know what I mean? Like, oh, the detectives are scrolling through Instagram. They're all, hey, geez, this is scary. Should we contact Joe Rogan? Yeah, right, dude. Rogan's security contacted the detectives, which is exactly what I would have done. Absolutely 100%. That's what I would have done. Now, let's be honest, though, dude. If everybody's getting arrested for Class B misdemeanor terrorist threats because they said, oh, I'm calling you out online, okay, like, that's not a world that we want to live in. However, it's different when it's someone who is unhinged, looks insane, and then travels to the guy's town, okay? That's the difference. That's the difference. And he's doing it over and over and over and over and over and over and over, just like, video after video after video. Yeah, if they call me and they're like, do you feel like it's threatening? I'd be like, of course I do. Go get him, dude. Like, this, you know what I mean? So that's what that is. Now let's get back to the video because there's a lot more crazy stuff in this. All right, so now I fast forwarded just a little bit. Now listen to his mindset on this, and then I'm going to explain to you why the people around him are behaving the way that they're behaving, because it doesn't seem to fit, right?
You never have to be embarrassed of family. Ancestral honor, it's called reputation. We're the Liver King family, a real king, a real queen who's kind of scared. Striker over here is kind of scared. Dad's getting arrested again. We've already been through it once. The first time, do you remember what I said? I said, guys, Baba's not fast enough to make it to the plane. I get her. But I'm about to sprint as fast as I can to the plane. But all the police are talking over here. I'm going to make a run for the jet. I'm going to go as fast as and I'm pretty fast now, especially now, 178 pounds, Joe Rogan. But I weigh. You weigh more than me. You're a black belt. Why not just for fun fight me, or, like, physical fight, real tension. I don't have any training. There's 126 ways to choke someone out, and this is the technique, the strategy. We call it jiu-jitsu. There's an infinite amount of ways to be primal. That's my boy. And the primal part of it is the fun part was going to jail, cops are coming. And I say, I'm gonna run, I'm gonna go.
Okay. There's a lot to respond to right there. All right, so first of all, the reason that people are behaving like this around him, where, like he's acting like this is totally normal because he's on drugs, right? And the reason why they are not shaking him and being like, dude, what are we doing? Is because he's rich, okay? Like this guy, the role of money in our society cannot be overstated, okay? It is the ultimate example or the display of intelligence and success in this, capitalistic society that we have. It's like you can have these people that are just absolute trash, okay? And I'm not saying that he's one of them. I'm just saying, like, you can have people who are literal psychopaths, and the way that they have gotten wealthy is by destroying people's companies and stealing their pension funds, okay? Ghislaine Maxwell's dad, as an example, okay? People who are horrific humans, but if they stack dough, they have this status where it's like, man, you're like, that guy's an asshole, but man, look at, he's crushing it, okay? Now, if you're the family of the breadwinner and the breadwinner has built a massive nest egg of enormous dough, like you have blind faith in what they're doing. And look at his arm, dude. Look at his arm. This dude's on meth, man. Like this dude's on meth. Anyway, but so that's why, is because he has so much money. He is like in this elite group of people who have stacked so much money that like you can't really question him because clearly he knows what he's doing because he's made all this money. You know what I mean? I'm serious. Like that's what's going on. He's the king of that household. No matter how fucking crazy he sounds, no matter what he's doing that's just insane, they just are along for the ride because they understand they're in this like elite little teensy group of wealthy people. And that's 100% because of him. All right. So now we fast forward a little bit. This is where things get real. So now you're going to have someone coming in who actually is putting the screws to him a little bit and letting him know, like, no, this is serious. So watch how he handles this.
Yeah, I would love it if all of that could be. Are they right outside?
Yep.
The police?
Yep.
And
They're unmarked.
How much time do you think we have? Wait, they're unmarked?
They're
How do you know the police?
because I saw their badge.
How do you know the real badges?
Because I'm worked in law enforcement for a very long time.
And so you know it's a real badge?
Yes.
How? Do you know legit?
Legit.
So you know, okay, so if it's legit, means everything's legit. So how much time do I have to take a foot drive? I just finished my, share all this, please. And I'd like to share what happened behind closed doors too. Because at the end, it's fist bump, pound, lock it down. When it's time for any respective family, 4 pillars to lead, united we always are. Look, we're here as a family. Our dogs are here. We're all here. This is intense. Dad's getting arrested. We know how it went the first time. Didn't feel good. Rep 1, Rep 2, united, family, familiar, resistant, stronger. Don't forget to have fun, guys. Adventure fun. Master builders. This bump, pound, lock it down. That's behind closed doors. Could you just let them know, like,
You gonna take shit?
I could really be out of here in about probably 12 fucking, I'll set my timer for 12 minutes and I can deliver on exactly those words.
Okay.
But I'll need for you to come back and tell me, let's start the time.
Okay.
Don't stop recording with the police and all that. Okay? Don't ever, I didn't say pointing at me. Keep going, keep walking. I'm walking you out. Just move.
You're horrible at this directing thing.
Just don't stop no matter what.
I got
And
you.
Anyone else that you can get to record you, like Christian, should be recording you too. Anyone who is free, not my family, okay? Not my family, but anyone on our ecosystem team should go ahead and share more of the experience.
Copy that.
It is insane how much these types of influencers spend. Like he's paying all these people that are there with him, like that are all there filming. He's paying all of them. It's wild. I mean, it's anyway. Okay, so let's fast forward to where he's actually now he's outside and now he's gonna actually get arrested. And let's listen to this.
And you've given me this much space because you know what's actually right. You know what's actually right. And so...
Never mind, he's talking to his family still.
You're telling me I can't have 12 minutes to swallow myself out of here? Because we were expecting maybe something else. And guess what? That's why I'm doing all of this. Because the movie and everybody suggested this character is this other character. And then you guys were receiving me this way, and all of a sudden 0 time, because you know the principle of the matter. I'm an actual man, husband to my queen, and you think you're gonna, and you could. You guys have the right to. You might not be strong enough to actually, and the thing that...
Oh my God, he's got these guys there just like having to listen to this shit.
would suck is I would still supplicate. You can still do whatever you want to me. I would do that too, but I could handle both of you guys.
That's fine. We don't.
And my boys are right there. Striker and Rad are right there. My boys. So can I have 12 minutes to just finish my actual shit? I did 4 coffee enemas this morning. My intestines don't work like yours.
Oh my God.
And that's what so that man to a man, can I have 12 exact minutes? We set our timer and I'll deliver on my word. Thank you.
Oh my God. Okay. He literally just started crying. He started crying to the cops and begging for 12 minutes so that he can go finish shitting himself because he did 4 coffee enemas this morning. Hey guys, does anyone actually believe that that's what he's doing in the bathroom? The coffee enemas? Do you actually believe that? Okay. Something tells me coffee enema might be code for crystal meth. You know what I mean? Just saying. Because no one is going to be in the room with you when you're doing coffee enemas, right? Like, hey, got to go do another coffee enema. You know? It's a genius cover story.
Hold on. That's why I tell time on 2 watches.
Bro. And since then, okay, here we go. And then here's the actual arrest video.
Separate or together? Okay, so what did they say?
They, listen, just take this with a grain of salt, but they assured me he's going to be in and out.
Yeah.
It's like, we got to process you. He'll bail out, but we're talking probably 24 hours.
24 hours?
Maybe first thing tomorrow when he sees the judge. I don't know.
Oh, so it's not an hour. He's going to be the 24 hours.
I don't know. They could do a 24-hour.
Take you this way to the lobby.
Thank you. And then do you know where their vehicle is? So
Yes, it's just.
Well, he's obviously not out yet because there's nothing on his Instagram yet. You know, 24 hours would be last night, you know, so he'll be out in a few hours if it's 24 hours.
When you go out to the driveway.
thank you for your discretion.
No problem.
They said in and out, but to a cop, in and out could mean 24 hours.
Oh.
Leading to the driveway? The driveway, yes.
Okay. So that means 24 hours.
I don't know, Miss Barbara. I'm saying that they could hold him for 24 hours. However, they said in and out, which means they could go there and then he comes back out. But I'm under the assumption he would need to see a judge before he is dismissed. Rogan's guys are gone.
Rogan's guys are gone. Hey, so just in case there's any misunderstanding about what happened here, Rogan did this. His security did this. They were like, yeah, fucking right. This unhinged dude that owns 1 million guns coming to Austin, threatening violence against Joe, please. And they just call the police and they're like, we want this dude locked up. And we want him sent away from Austin. And then boom.
Thank you.
I'm with him.
So Rogan's guys left the second he was in cuffs. So Rogan's security left the second that they actually had him in cuffs. That's why they said Rogan's guys are gone. That's Interesting. All right, let's finish this thing up and then get out of here.
Yeah. And these items are for you.
I want to take that one. That's for Is that all? Oh, yeah, you just, let me figure that out.
No.
I'm mobile, bro. I do shit like that'll. You guys put handcuffs on people in the back of the car? Inside the car? How come? Because it's pretty protected.
Well, that's going on.
All right, so check this out. While we were watching that, I was reading comments. I want to read this exact comment to wrap this up, because this is a dead-on take right here, okay? This is a dead-on take from Tyler 42069696969 42069 100 times. That's funny, dude. Okay, listen to this. He said he was arrested for making terroristic threats. Days and days of him making videos full of cryptic comments, holding weapons, and repeatedly saying he's going to find Joe Rogan and fight him. Not only did he say those things, but as you can see, he literally traveled to Austin to find Joe Rogan. All of this on top of the fact that anyone can see he's been mentally unstable and could actually be a danger to others. Many may see this as too much, or Liver King isn't actually going to do anything, but the truth is people actually do stuff like this and end up doing something real bad if it's not stopped. That's exactly right. Like, that's an absolutely dead-on take. There's no question about that. That's a dead-on take. This is what I was saying last night, okay? Like, dude, you don't need to be state champion Taekwondo and multi-black belt in jiu-jitsu to know that Liver King has no chance against you if he's untrained. And what I'm saying is it doesn't matter who these people are. Like it doesn't matter. The guy, first of all, he's going to know where your studio is most likely because he probably has asked people. Like, do you know how many people he knows who know where Rogan's studio is? You know what I mean? Like, even I know someone who knows Liver King, and he also knows where Rogan's studio is. And like, that's just one. That's the only person I know who knows Liver King personally also knows where Rogan's studio is. So like, it's not like it's hard for him to figure out where Rogan's studio is. And he's unhinged. He looks completely crazy. He's on drugs. There is no telling how out of his mind he actually is. So like, this threat is completely real. He's got guns. He's got weapons. You think Rogan's afraid of fighting this guy? Of course not. But Rogan's like, no. Okay. If you want to fight, like you set that up. You don't show up at a guy's city and just start making threats with a big crew of people looking like you haven't slept in 6 months, dude. Like, this was not an unreasonable thing for Rogan to put his security on him. I would have done the exact same thing for absolute sure. There's no question about that. Absolutely no question. I wouldn't let that guy get anywhere near me if I'm in Rogan's situation. This is just a smart move. Put him in jail, make sure he gets the hell out of Austin. You know, and have Joe's security on the lookout for this dude in the future. Anyway, yeah, this is, listen, dude, Liver King's going to have money, but this whole like Liver King thing where, I mean, he is the craziest thing about this is he's up, like standing in front of he's looking like he is in a position to like tell people how to live. You know what I mean? He's sitting there like, hey guys, let me give you advice on how to live, when everybody's like, you're the last person I would ever want to be like, aside from your bank account. Look at, you're humiliating yourself. At best, you're embarrassing yourself. Much or potentially you're actually dangerous. Like, what did you think was going to happen here? Anyway, that's what I got for this video. I love you guys. Subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. Bye-bye.